All right. Market's up a little bit here. Up doesn't always mean something of significance, because it's better than down, but depending on your position and what you expect. Hold on a minute. So retracing into yesterday's red bar pretty decently. We'll see where it ends up. Morning, Peter. So is it going to be a double top? We'll know probably in the next half hour, or moving up to prior highs. This is a type of pullback setup that I shy away from, meaning because it's so close to the prior high that the potential for a double top is definitely there. And you can see this has been trending higher, since around 3:30 or so, 3:15, where it started to move up. So getting a shallow pullback tells me that buyers are becoming more confident and aggressive, rather than it going sideways and basing for a while and building up support. Buyers are now coming in on very small pullbacks in anticipation of the move continuing. So that gives me a hesitation that it's less likely to happen. So if I was in, say, from this pullback or over here, I certainly wouldn't be looking to add to a position on such a shallow pullback. Rather, I'd be looking to get out of the position. So we'll see. But that's just an overview on interpretation of a price pattern like this, regardless of whether it's the S&Ps or anything else. So we're going to see where this goes here from this point. If it was to close this way, well, it's still, the second leg of a move. So a continuation at that point isn't very high odds of doing so without, meaning you're not likely to get the same type of move like that, or like this at this point. It could turn, that's the typical type of pattern that results if this continuation pattern was to actually result in a move higher. Remember, the sentiment, option buyers are still heavily on the call side, which does not historically lead to any kind of momentum move to the upside, more of a, in a really bullish market, a choppy type of consolidation. So, NASDAQ, again, we don't know where this is going to end, but it's positive in a similar pattern here on the 5-minute. Actually, I'm looking at this on the 5. I usually look at it on the 60. But an X-ray does give us some extra information to do the analysis on. All right, so move up here. And there's the top of the topping tail from yesterday. And now the question is, does that double top that looks like it's beginning to form on the 5-minute result in this being a lower high? So we don't really have a clear picture here if we were going to trade these futures this morning. Right? So, any pattern as I explain it is the same thing regardless of what we're going to trade. All patterns are applicable to anything. It's just how do you put it together in your trading plan? YM, the laggard, played catch up here, consolidating for a few days. It's up at this point, but coming up into resistance. Pulled back into the area of this prior low, and buyers stepped up there, now pushing it up into the resistance area, which suggests certainly not the place to be going long. Rather, it's the place to be taking profits if you bought the pullback, and then waiting to see what the reaction is up here. Bonds are up. Everything green here in the futures this morning. Everything's green. Bonds pushing up above this resistance area after a bottoming tail bar retest of this prior low. So bond prices going up, which means interest rates are going down. From a long-term perspective, like, okay, that could be something of a concern. Let's look at the 10-year. So it gapped down here. It's moving down. Not a big deal. So how much these interest rates come down is something we have to keep an eye on, because yesterday the Fed raised interest rates. And as we know, 3-month yields have been moving up for a long time. And what we have to keep an eye on from a long-term perspective is if these yields keep coming down, and I think, Pat, you heard that they're going to plan to raise interest rates 4 more times this year. Well, where will that put that in relation to these long-term rates? And if those two lines meet, that is going to historically create a very bearish scenario for the market. All right. Oil actually able to bounce up here, getting closer to, that larger resistance area up in here. Those moving averages coming together. We'll see, what happens there if it actually turns lower. And interestingly, well, gold is beginning to resolve this bearish flag here as it's moved up above this resistance, but it's not something I would go long. I mean, it's created this support point now, but it's still in a downtrend. It's coming to resistance. It has not taken out major resistance. And whether this continues to go up, I would stand aside to see if that actually happens, because this type of pattern and this kind of trend often will result in a green bar ignored. And if this was to go flip right back down again in the next day, then I would be interested in gold as a short. But right now, I just want to stand aside from it. This short-term sloppy strength, a lot of uncertainty, tails, overlapping bars. That is just kind of like we've called in the past a frog in a blender pattern. You're just going to get chopped to death back and forth. So we stay away from patterns like that. Now you can see how it's trading, how this is moving on the last day or so, intraday. So as an intraday trader, if you were going to trade gold, yeah, you could do that. I mean, you can be more nimble, but from a daily perspective, to expect prices are going to go down, and then moving back up again, you just stay away. It's not a clean pattern. What's moving here? Well, Netflix up again. Looks like it could go climactic or vertical. Tesla up again. Just an amazing move over a short amount of time. Whereas it looked like it was going to drop below these lows, it actually held and moved up. Apple has just been a dog lately. Up a little bit, but meaningless. And this is just building up an area of consolidation. I would assume it resolves itself to the upside because it's in an uptrend, but we will stand aside from this and see what happens. MU actually showing a little bit of strength, but look at SMH here on the daily chart. I want to see what happens here because here it did pull back. It's in an uptrend, and now there's this topping tail result in a move down to this support level, or is it ignored, confirming the bullish trend? So I'm going to be watching this to see what happens there. And I'll look at Intel, because this is bullish on a long-term point of view, but there's the topping tail. Does this come down to the 50 where we could get interested in it? That would probably coincide with some corrective action in the market, but we'll see. This morning, it's just stabilizing here. And Amazon up 7.5, just continues to move up. I'll take a look at that, Dan. Thank you. And Twitter continues to march higher, sideways there. Might be interested that if the market continues to show strength as a day trade on the long side. It looked like it was going to roll over yesterday at some point, but it did not. Snap. Nothing there to do. What else? Well, this is one of Dan's favorites. It's done well. Still going up. And what else? Well, this thing is just, now it's gotten really ahead of itself, so far away, but it is something that, over the coming months could be a lot higher. So it's definitely going to stay on my interest list. Wow, that must be news, of course. 18%, 6 points. IWM, I imagine it's up here. It's up a little bit, pushing up. It looks okay. It's in an uptrend, Mike. Red bar so far, it has had a big move, but look at all the red bars. Well, this one resulted in a little bit more of a correction, but red bar ignored, red bar ignored. Now, is that a red bar ignored? Well, I'm not so sure, but I can tell you that momentum, assuming that was a that is a closing bar because that's the Russell, but it tells me that momentum is stalling here. And the way that we see that through price action without indicators is to just look at the previous moves and look at the current move, move up. And then when you get the correction bar, red bar, eyeball the distance between how the move started before. So, some of the more, the more esoteric types of analysis that talk about waves, Elliott wave and GANs and so on, and they get into these esoteric type of measurements of such and explanations. We keep it simple, right? I've always kept it simple. While I've studied those things, ages and ages ago, I was like, I thought to myself, what are they looking for? What are they trying to figure out? Why is it so complicated? So, you just look at the price. This is a strong move. Bars are fluid to the upside. Higher high, higher low bars. Very little overlap. Correction, little correction. Here's the next move. Okay. Is it as big as the other one? No. So momentum stalled a bit, but it's still in an uptrend. It created new major support. Pulled back. Here's the next push. You've got the high, new major support. Is it as strong as this one? Actually, maybe a little bit stronger. Here's the next one, correction bar to correction bar. Now you can see that the distance has narrowed considerably. So the momentum is stalling, but the trend is still up. This does not suggest a break in the trend. It suggests the momentum is stalling. Simple. Sometimes that results in a pullback. Sometimes it results in a sideways price action. We just look at things objectively and put it in the context of the big picture, right? Trend in multiple time frames. So there is what's going on this morning. There's other stuff Dan can cover, and there's a little piece of education to start the day that'll help you for the rest of your life. Take it away, Dan.
All right, thanks. Good morning, everybody. As always, let's start with any problem children in our open positions. And the only one I see out of everything is what Dan mentioned, this RCL. I don't know what the heck is up with that, but we're just gonna deal with it. So typically, and it depends. If the gap is bullish, igniting a new move, then we would think about converting it to a more bullish trade, or adjusting our long deltas, our short deltas rather, because we're short the out of the money call spread, which would mean maybe convert it to a condor, just take our stop, buy the stock as a hedge. There's a number of things to do. It almost looks halted right now, the way it moved up and now nothing's going on. I mean, that is 99.9% news. I mean, that is very unusual because it didn't gap up. Something happened and it just rallied. And it's not moving right now, but it's a gap breakout. So I'm kind of inclined, my initial response, cover half at the 5 or 10 minute high, depending on how it's holding, the back half, 30-minute high, 15-minute high. I don't know. I don't have a perfect answer, but we will watch it. A couple other opens here. We have this Condor STX, nothing to do. ITA we added into the close. CCS, a housing stock, put spread. Oh, okay, that one stopped out. I'm still in it in one of my accounts. Yeah, the Roku. I think I said bid. Remember, that's one. That was a great example where we said we aren't going to mechanically. Yeah, we said bid 15 cents for the back half, and that should get filled at the open, 15 cents or better. All right, thanks, Clifford. Yeah, had to be news, and that's weird that typically the acquire or, and I don't know why, but that's just typical. Goes down, and then the other one goes up. But if you believe in the doctrine of the board of directors are there to make the best decisions for the shareholders, that goes against the acquire or gapping down all the time. It's like, why? We're doing it in the best interest of the company. UAL put spread, CSX covered call, Hyatt covered call. Transports, we're in a short put. H-band, long stock. Spider, I said, when the market got nervous after FOMC, we took our profits. So we're actually flat on the spiders. Let me delete that. Costco. Obviously, people knew about it. I don't know, but that was a big move. That was a big move. So I personally, since I'm a skeptic of Wall Street's good faith, that something leaked out because these were vicious moves here the past 2 days. And we decided just to stick with our stop, which is over the 110 because it was so far away. Absolutely. Yeah, you should, Greg, you should also put quotes in around in anticipation because, I mean, if the SEC were to go see who the big money, the purchasers are in here, come on, don't be naive. They had inside information. So it's just reality. Disney, we did a put spread yesterday. All right, Costco put spread, we're fine. Apple, we still have half that expires Friday. Zulu Sierra, we have a put spread, way out of the money, the 30s. Dropbox, nice gap up. Nice, look at that gap and a breakout now. So I'll be adjusting the stop, maybe even taking half profits on that, but that's a bullish pre-market. And we sold the 29s down here. That was another beautiful no-brainer trade that we just got paid for it to go sideways. Just a few here that I was watching from the other day. Sanjay brought this one up. Oh, here, HEAR, gapping up a little bit. We have a put spread on that we were looking at the premiums together yesterday. XPO, put spread, that's fine. Core, we're watching as a short. Looks like it's gapping up a little bit. Some of these extended stocks, 5, Restoration Hardware, I'm still watching them. T2, someone Sanjay mentioned yesterday, that looks great. I'll keep an eye on that. I noticed Adobe today here, gapping up a little bit. Look at that strong trend, daily, weekly, monthly. That's just power. Let's look at my gapping stocks now. We have 4 minutes, so let me go a little bit fast. Mick here on earnings, 1874, disaster, ugly gap, but to support. We'll just have to see how it plays out. This was the one from yesterday. We'll watch for a couple of days, see what it does. FXI, this is that guy's, I'm going to discuss this guy's pick every single day in this option, whatever he's called, optionprofits.com. This one, he says, buy an out of the money call and you will triple your money. Really? Do you all see any bullish pattern in here whatsoever, daily, weekly, monthly? If so, shout it out, because I surely don't. In the newspaper here, Psych was, rumors and talks to buy this BSX, and we looked at these gaps yesterday, but that was the news, and then they said, oh no, those talks aren't true. They're either not true or they're off or whatever, and that's what caused the retracements there in gaps. NVIDIA up $1.34. We're in a put spread yesterday. GLD, Greg mentioned, but I'll check the premiums just to see if there's a put spread. I wouldn't touch this as the directional, but you all know the drill on our put spreads. Roku, we talked about. Billy Boy, or is it Billy Boy or Billy Bob? This one's going into my playlist. Dance list. Nothing to do now, but that's a power that got some juice here. And this was actually a good entry on this pro gap right there. And then you just watch your entry, stop under this low. Adobe, I mentioned, I'm gonna watch that. Tellurd, bearish pro gap, 2790, but it's too excessive. Way the heck down here. But that was a nice pattern right there. My entry, aggressive, if it wasn't gapping, of course, would be half lot under that, and then probably back half under that pivot. Mylan, is a bio, gapping down, nothing to do there. Sage, I was going to give us a put spread as a bullish 1, 2, 3 breakout. Look at this. I love this. Bullish gap, wide range bar to resistance with a 1, 2, 3. That would have been a no-brainer pattern. Bullish weekly, monthly, but it's a biotech. Etsy, Greg mentioned the gap's too excessive. Shop, we were watching the other day. It's gapping up. We'll watch it some more. PVTL, I added to my dance card. Another recent IPO. Gapping up $1.50, nothing to do right now, but it's bullish. Race, remember we were looking at this? I think on this gap day, remember? June 5, that was a gap breakout. And, again, just put that picture in your head of how it happened. What happened subsequent. And remember I asked you as a leopard, I said that's on the gap day, what jumped out at you? And it was this weekly is what jumped out on me that morning. So iPhone, IFON, I don't like the way it trades. It looks like a dollar, a penny stock kind of toy. But, bullish gap there. Maybe it'll set up. Shit, what did I I don't know what the hell I do to always fat finger this thing. Damn. Okay. All right. I saved it easily, but I have no idea what I did. Boeing. We stopped out of Boeing yesterday at a profit. Our stop was under this pivot, Mike. So I don't know if you're asking for a new trade or if you're still in yours. I like the 15-minute as a reverse head and shoulders, considering the pre-market data. Here's your head, wide range bar, sideways. So if you're still in it, you're fine so far. All right, so yeah, Greg, we're going to need a plan on RCL so we can. I need to alert our subscribers too. I have it in a window over here. I'm watching it. Markets, nothing to do here. You know, Greg reviewed it. Look at that mess on the 15-minute chart. But in terms of the gap, it's a deep retracement into this red bar, right? So, you know, I don't think I'm going to be doing anything here for 30 minutes. Q's the strongest, like it has been. IWM. All right, nothing. ZUO, ULOS, Crow. Are those three separate stocks, or are you talking about the RCL? Oh. What a beautiful breakout here. What does this do? But yeah, I'll keep an eye on that. EOLS. Too messy for me. Crow. It's still sideways. It has to break out. I like your, I'm going to add yours. Let's see if it's optionable. ZUO. ZUO. It is, but too spready for me. I'm glancing over to see if there's any other problem children. ITA, or ITA is up 47 cents. That's our military call spread. All right, I'm scanning down here. This RCH is our only problem. Everything else is fine.
Give it some time.
All right.
I would never buy it. I mean, just looking at it objectively, you know.
As we always do, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the 60-minute chart is not extended. It came out of a base. So, I mean, even from a short-term point of view, it would support a move up, but it has been moving up for several days. And I think you just, you know, wow, it continues to be strong. I mean, that's the problem with news. You know, they don't always follow the rational movements of historical price action. But I mean, it's, you know, reacting in the first few minutes historically is a mistake too. If this first 5-minute bar, you know, was to close with a topping tail, clearly that's what we would like to see. We'll see what happens. There's, well, about 40 some odd seconds to go. Qs are staying strong here.
Yep, Qs are the strongest. And I mean, just it's, you know, not a consolation if you're in pain right now on RCH, but, you know,
RCH or RCL?
RCL, sorry. I mean, number one, when we sell spreads, our loss is significantly less than if you were short trading the stock. Number two, at least we have a spread on, so we know our max loss, but we're just watching it, as you said. Wow, this Qs are strong. Look at this drop box. Let's I think we're going to cover half or all here. We're short the June 29, which is 2 more weeks. Wow, the spreads are preposterous.
Yeah, you looking at RCL, Dan?
No, DBX. But
I'm looking at RCL, the spreads right now in the calls, 15 days out, like the 119s are 40 by 260.
Right, it's untradable. And so that's if you had to hedge, you would do it with stock.
Short the stock?
Well, no, because we're short what depends what you want to hedge. If we're hedging a 110 short call and we want to add some long deltas, then you got to buy the stock. And so just start with tell me what your goal is, and then I answer it for you.
Financials going down again after that wacko move.
And I'm also moving the stop on DBX to the day's low. Yeah, Dan. Wow, look at the Qs here. No, I mean, we're going to make the best intelligent choice we can. We're in damage control mode right now. Greg, you were watching that ITB is a new trade, still not holding here. FANG stocks. Well, FANG is holding the market. The accused here again. Look at them. Facebook is threatening highs. Google here looking great. Remember last Friday, folks, we were in this, you know, that was the break even. And, you know, I said, should we do a new trade? Well, so the strong market kept it going. Yeah, Disney is, yeah, beautiful trade there. I'm going to tighten the stop. I'm going through some alerts right now. Tesla just being bought. Netflix to new highs. Wow. Amazing. Our Disney. We did the 195.
Here's an idea, maybe a little later, sitting on a little intraday support, starting to bounce a little bit. E-Trade, ETFC, 8 days to expiration, maybe like a 66 by whatever, 68.
All right, hold on, I'm updating Disney.
Apple continues to be weak. Interesting. The airlines are showing, you know, a little bit of strength in the face of the oil was stronger before. The UAL, it gapped up and it's holding. So does the American, but the daily charts aren't anything to get excited about.
This Adobe we're watching, but you know, it's the same problem I've been saying the last 2 days. Is, you know, this is definitely would not be doing a directional. But possible put spread if the market wants to make another run here, but I kind of have short-term, focus on new trades. T2, wow, nice there. Look at that relative strength. Nice find yesterday, Sanjay. Got our NVIDIA's very nice move. We can tighten the stop now. That's for Friday. Midpoint is 19 cents.
The energy stocks didn't get any upward momentum based on that little bit of strength in oil. Schlumberger just dangling on the 200 MA on the daily like he could drop. Gets under it.
Which one, Greg? I was updating trades.
Slob.
Look at USO coming out of a rounding bottom. Now this just hasn't had the juice, but that would be a candidate for next week, selling the 13 put. But I guarantee you, I'm only going to get pennies on it. USO next week, 13 naked. Yeah, 6 cents. It's just been that way. Now look at this PVTL off to the races, nothing to do. Etsy shop is holding, put spread candidate, but again, the market. Ooh, Sage got ugly there. Welcome to Bioland. It was gapping up. And look at that deep retracement. I hate bios. Race, nothing to do. IFON, that's that penny stock looking thing to lured. Ooh, wow, that's ugly. And I said I thought the gap was too big. So, it just depends how bad you want on it. And then you go to that smaller time frame. Billy, I have in the other thing, nothing to do here, but very powerful. That's a pseudo 1, 2, 3 because the tail is deeper than we like. But then you had another tail and breakout yesterday. That's very strong. GLD. Let's see if there's any juice for next week. But I typically hate, not hate. That's a powerful word. I dislike trading gold and oil stocks. Gold 122 for next week. 12 cents. It's ridiculous. I'm not messing with that. All right, bottoming tail there, but total chunk. FXI. Greg, did you buy your call options like the guy said? If you want to make 300%?
I didn't get that notice.
I'll be happy to forward it to you. You got to get on that email, man, if you want to make some real money.
Was there a guarantee?
No.
Did he give his phone number?
Website address, yeah. Options. FXI, here's the headline. FXI flashes 2 buy signals. That's better than 1 buy signal, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. Flashes. This thing too.
Our STX. Now see us selling the Condor, we still have a small open loss, but by legging into that Condor, it significantly reduced our loss. So, you know, we have way out of the money up here, the 60s, and the way out of the money, 52.5. So, you know, we just wanted to stay range bound. Here, let's see if we can adjust that again. It's now at midpoint. Well, no, we're not at midpoint. The midpoint, well, now we can move it break even. Or I'll do it the tighter. Let me look, Pat, let me update this real quick. All right, that's the update I gave. Hey, Greg, just and everyone else, FYI on this RCL, just the midpoint to close right now is 288, which still is a huge loss. I'm just making a point, but it's significantly less loss than if it expires in the money. And the reason for that is because it still has time value left. Well, the midpoint 288. If you were to get filled and close right there, so then your loss is the difference between the midpoint and what you sold it for. But the max loss is $5 wide spread less credit if expires over the 105 short strike price. But we have 36 days to expiration. So, you know, again, everything comes back to the chart in terms of deciding what to do. Big topping tail now. Market coming in. Yeah, I'm not, an unrelated comment. I'm not excited about any new loans right now myself. All right, now, yeah, did I miss looking at some things? Oh, shoot, Pat, you asked me something earlier. Let me scroll back up. MIC or Oracle. All right, sorry. Yeah, if I don't answer something, it means I just missed it. All right, MIK. July options for, I'm not sure what you're asking, Pat. Are you bullish or bearish on this pattern? And are you buying or selling options? Oracle. Ooh, that's a bearish gap. How did I miss that? Earnings are Tuesday. Oracle for tomorrow, which I'm not sure what you're wanting to do with Oracle either. No, Pat, and I will give you my consideration. I'm just saying that it's not clear to me what you're thinking. I mean, this is bearish right now, bearish gap, but it was on support, so it would not have interested me at the time. But then, I mean, look at a 5-minute chart. That's total selling. You got solid red bars, underperforming the Qs. But I just don't, you know, are you just going to short it here and jump on a falling train? Can you have a falling train? Is that the right word? Or is it falling knife? Throw a knife off the balcony and gravity will make it fall. So yeah, you shouldn't be throwing trains. You bought a bear put spread for tomorrow? Oracle. Okay, any other stocks that I missed? Disney and here. Okay, we talked about those. All right, we moved our stop on that. We moved our stop on that. Yeah, Granville. Yeah, I like Granville. At least I read his books in the old days. Standing on a railroad track with train bearing down on you. Well, but it still doesn't have the gravity effect. So I like falling knife better for shorts. And I use the rocket analogy for, you know, crazy overbought things. And I use the train analogy of don't get run over by a train if you're just a deer in a headlights, not